Hello guys, in this video we are going to learn about the return keyword. So, okay, now this is where we left in our previous video. We learned parameters and the arguments. We passed along some stuff. And in this video, we are going to make this function return something. So now our function works perfectly fine, right? When we pass two parameters, we perfectly fine execute these commands, these statements. We execute whatever inside this curly brackets. Remember that. In this video, I'm gonna let's comment this out, and instead of printing this inside this sum function, let's return something. So return a plus b. Now what this does? So we put the return keyword, right? We put a space, then we put whatever we want to return. So the return keyword works like this. When the code sees the return keyword, it immediately exits your function. So when we see the return keyword in here, we exit the function. We don't execute any other code. So we have hello world in here. See, we don't print it out since we return in here. Okay, that's one thing to know. Secondly, so we called our function in here, right? And when we have a return inside this function, then that function will be replaced by something. So what I mean, let's replace a by 15 and b by 20, since we we pass 5 and 10 in here, right? So let's replace these a and b by 5 and 10, right? So we don't need these two values. Okay, so we replace our variables with the corresponding values. So 10 plus 5 is 15. Okay, so we executed the overall statement. Now we have returned 15. So what this does is that it replaces your function with 15, as I told you before. So it basically does with that, you can select this, you can think of it in this way. You select this function that you call for, then replace whatever you are returning. So we return 15. Okay, pay attention that we print nothing, right? But if I make this console.log, if I take this into console.log, we print 15. Why? Because we have this statement console.log sum 5 comma 10. We pass 5 to a, we pass 10 to b. So a is containing 5, right? B is containing 10. We sum these two, which is 50. Then we say return 50. So we called our function in here, right? We passed those exact arguments in here. So since we have returned 15 in here, this will be replaced by 15, and we print out 50. So that's basically it. You can also say let num equals to sum 2, 3, and console.log sum, no, num, and this should be, of course, a plus b. Okay, now let's see what we did in here. So let's leave some space. Okay. So we have sum 2 to 3, right? We called for this function, we pass 2 to a, we pass 3 to b. Then let's replace those values, and we have 3 plus 2, which is 5. We have return 5 in here, right? Let me also delete this. Okay, so we have return 5 in here. So basically we replace our function with 5. So it returned 5. This overall function has now value of 5, so we placed it with 5. Then we assigned 5 to num. Then we printed out num. So that's basically how it works. When you have the return keyword, that function ends right there. And your function is getting replaced by a value. So this can also be a string. So let's say string a. We print out a. So this sum2 to 3 function returns string a. We pass string a to num. Then we print num. As you can see, it's here. But what if we don't have any return function? What do you think will happen? We get undefined. So we have sum 2 comma 3, right? We call for this function, we execute the command inside. Then since we don't have anything to return, this basically returns undefined. So now our statement looks like this: let num and print num. Of course, num will be undefined. So it's the same as in here. We have sum 5 to 10. We pass those variables to our sum function. We execute some code inside. Then since we don't have anything to return, this returns undefined. So yeah, this returns undefined. So we print undefined. But if we have a return keyword, that function will be replaced by value. So let's say we pass 10 and 5 to our function. We return a plus b. We return 15. We pass that to num. We print out num. So that's basically how return works. It's so important to know. We use this a lot. And if you have any question, please leave a comment and have a great day.